Hi everyone, welcome to my new tutorial. This one is for this super beautiful cluster blanket. This is actually, as you can see, a rather large blanket that I've made for a baby that's coming very soon, not mine, I'd just like to say. But it's proved so popular on Instagram and Facebook and things and everyone was asking me to do a tutorial for it. So here it is, and it's one of those stitches that looks so nice on the back as well as on the front. So this is the front side and then this is the back of it. And like I say, it's just as nice. I actually prefer the back, which might sound a bit crazy. But let's get started on the tutorial for this lovely blanket. So if you need to know how to do the slip, knot and chain really slowly, then go and check out my beginner series. I will link that below. But let's get started now. So to start with, you do just want to create your slip knot and insert your hook. And we're going to do our foundation chain. And for this foundation chain, you just need to chain an even number. So any size that you like, as long as it is an even number. So to chain, you're just going to yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through, and you're just going to continue that until your foundation chain is as long as you need it to be. So I've just done a quick sample piece and I've done 22 chains, and now we're going to work our way back across. So we're going to do a double crochet into the second chain from the hook. Remember, that's double crochet UK. In the US, this is your single crochet. So this first chain is number 1, and we want to go into the second chain, which is this one just here. So you're going to do a double, so you just pop your hook straight through that stitch, yarn over and pull up, so you've got 2 loops on your hook, and yarn over and pull through. We're then going to do another double crochet into the next stitch along, and then we're going to chain 1, skip 1, and then a double crochet into the next stitch. Then we're going to chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the next. And again, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. And you're going to repeat that all the way along until you get towards the end. But meet me back before you do get towards the end, because to finish off your foundation row it is a little bit different in your last few stitches. So double, chain 1, skip 1, double, and you're going to do that until you get to your last few stitches. So if you want to pause the video now and work that all the way to your last few stitches, and I'll meet you back there in just a moment. So I'm just coming towards the end now, and I've just done a double and a chain 1, and I've got 3 chains left. And so what you want to do at this point is skip 1 as normal, and then you're going to do 1 double into the last 2 stitches. So 1 into that last one, and you're not going to chain in between. You're just going to do 1 double into the last 2 stitches. So that is how your foundation row should be looking. And to start our next row, we are going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we're going to turn our work around. We're now going to work back along doing our clusters. Now, because I like quite a thick and poofy cluster, I actually do 5 stitches technically. So to do a cluster, you want to yarn over, and we're going to go into the gap just here from the previous row. So you've got your 2 doubles here, and you're going to skip over those, and you're going to go straight into this first chain 1 space here. So you're going to yarn over, insert into that space, yarn over and pull up, so you've got 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through the first 2, then you're going to yarn over, insert into that space again, yarn over and pull up, yarn over, pull through 2, you've now got 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, insert back into that space, yarn over and pull up, yarn over, pull through the first 2. You've now got 4 loops, yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, pull through 2, and you've now got 5 loops on your hook. You're then going to yarn over and pull through all of those loops that are left on your hook. And then you're going to chain 1, which will secure, and that is your very first cluster stitch. So we don't chain anything in between our clusters, we are literally just going to go straight into the next chain 1 space, which is just here, and we're going to repeat that process again. So yarn over, insert into that chain 1, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert back into that space, yarn over and pull up, yarn over, pull through 2, that's 3 loops, and again, yarn over and pull through the first 2, we've now got 4 loops, one last time, yarn over, pull through 2, and you've now got 5 loops, and again you're going to yarn over and pull through all 5 of those loops, and then a chain 1, and we're going to repeat that all the way across. So if you need to pause or rewind, then do that now. So you're just going to repeat those clusters all the way along into every one of the chain 1 spaces. So you've got your chain 1, double, and then your chain 1. And if you want to work the way across until you get to your very last chain 1 space just here, and that's where I'll meet you. So I'm just getting towards the end of my foundation row now. I just have this one last chain 1 space here, so I'm going to do my last cluster stitch into that last chain 1. So I've got my 5 loops, and then I'm going to do the chain 1 again, and then we've got these 2 doubles from the previous row. So what you want to do after you've done your little chain 1 is just find the top of that very last stitch just here, and we're going to do 1 treble, remember that's UK treble, into that very end stitch. It can be a little bit fiddly when you're working into a double. So just make sure you've got the V as well, and you're just going to do 1 last treble. Now you could just carry on the pattern now all in 1 colour, it would still look really nice, but that is how you should be looking with your cluster stitches. But because I'm going to change colour, I'm not actually going to complete my treble, I'm just going to leave it on the last 2 loops just here, and I'm going to move on to a different colour. And so I'm just going to take my new colour and I'm going to pull it just through those last 2 stitches, and then I'm going to do a chain 1 which secures the colour change, but that doesn't count as any of your turning chains, and I'm just going to tie my new colour on with my old colour. So now we're going to chain 1 with our new colour and turn, and we're going to do a double crochet, remember that's UK double, US single, into the very base of where we have just come up from. So right into the very base of where we've just come up from, just here, making sure you've got the V on the top, you're going to do 1 double. We're then going to do a double into this space here. So straight into the space you're going to do another double. And you are then going to chain 1 and skip across into the space between your clusters and do a double. Chain 1, skip across in between your clusters and do another double. Chain 1, again skip across in between your clusters and do a double. Chain 1, skip across in between your clusters and double again. Chain 1, skip across in between your clusters, and you're going to do that all the way along. So if you want to meet me back when you get towards the end of your row, and we'll go from there. So I've just done a double and a chain 1 in this space here, and then I'm right at the end of my row, so I'm going to do a double into the space between my chain and my cluster. So I'm going to do a double, and then into the top of the chain 3, well, it was a chain 4, but you want to find that third chain. So 1, 2, and then 3 just here, and oops, like I say, it can be a little bit fiddly finding this very last stitch. Here we go, and again you just want to make sure you've got 2 loops on your hook like this, and do one last double into that stitch. So that's how we should be looking so far. And now we're going to chain 4, 2, 3, and 4, and turn, and we're then back to doing our clusters again. So into the chain 1 space just here that you've just created, you're going to do a cluster stitch. Exactly the same way as you did for the previous row of clusters. And you're just going to work that all the way across until you get to the other end of your work, which is where I will meet you again in just a minute. So I've just done my last cluster in my chain 1 space, and I've done my little chain 1 in between, and now again we've got our 2 double crochets left from the previous round, and you just want to do 1 treble into that very end double crochet. And again, I'm going to change colours here, so I'm going to not pull through those last 2 loops. And I'm going to attach a new colour, this nice raspberry one. And again, I'm just going to pull that through those last 2 loops. Do a chain 1 to secure the colour change, but remember that never counts as a stitch. And then I'm going to do my chain 1, which I would normally have for turning. I'm going to snip that one away, and then I'm going to just tie my old colour and new colour together. So I did my chain 1 and I turned again, and again you just want to do 1 double into the base of where you've just come up from, so just this very base stitch here, you're going to do a double into there. And then you're going to do a double into that space just next to it. And then again you're going to do exactly what we did before, chain 1 and skip to the space between the clusters and do a double, chain 1, skip between your clusters, and you're just going to do that all the way along again. And you are literally going to repeat those last 2 rows over and over again until you get as big as you want it to be. But that is literally it for the cluster pattern. I really hope that you like it, and like I say, I always say it, but remember to tag me on Instagram if you do complete anything from my tutorials. I do love seeing what you get up to, and I always like to comment on them as well. It's really nice to see. But that's how we're looking again now. And I've just done my last double and my chain 1, and I'm back to the other end, and again in that last space just here you're going to do a double, and then you want to find the top of this, the third chain in your previous chain 4, so 1, 2, and that's the third stitch just here, and you're going to do another double into that stitch. And again you're ready then to turn and work your clusters, so chain 4 and turn, and then you're going to work back across again. But that is literally it for the pattern. So that's the end of my raspberry row, and that is how it's looking, and that is literally it for the pattern. But I really hope that you've enjoyed this lovely tutorial. It's one of my absolute favourites for baby blankets. But if you did enjoy it, please remember to give me a little thumbs up, and also read my description box below, because I do always put links to where I buy things and what I've used, and also to my little family video channel as well. But that is it, guys. But please remember to subscribe as well for my little weekly videos. But thanks as always for watching, guys, and I will see you again very soon.